All right, let's get to talking about Bitcoin and what's going on. For those of you joining us later, not live, you might want to fast forward a little bit and catch up. So I'm going to get to the stuff that I want to talk about first, and I think is most important. Then we can get to some requests. We'll probably keep this one relatively short, maybe 30 minutes or so, unless we get no viewers, and then I'll just talk to myself. That's fine. We'll just recap. So Bitcoin. On the daily chart, right? Where are we looking at now? Well, we just came down even within the past hour to the EMA 34 again, this orange line. That's where we last bounced. I put this up on X right when we were about 63, said we're coming in hot to, a previous support at EMA 34, and we bounced again. EMA 34 last cycle in the bear market was our resistance. EMA 34 this cycle might be our support. So far, so good. We're 2 for 2 so far. However, we haven't closed yet. We have 8 hours until that happens. So watch for the close. As long as we're closing above this zone, 62.5, we're still bullish. And we could, in fact, zoom out to the weekly and remain bullish on Bitcoin as long as we're above the EMA 8 on the weekly. That's historically where we tend to hold the line in the bull market, right? So EMA 8 on the weekly, EMA 8, we can go all the way down here. That's like 59K. We can wick lower, who cares, right? Closing weekly candles, as long as we don't go below that red EMA 8, you got to remain bullish and don't lose sight of that. All right, so that's Bitcoin on the short term, long term, right? We could easily be back to 70K plus higher all-time highs within the next week or so. You can set some alerts, as you can see I have over here, right? Keep you updated. You can set some low alerts too, so you don't have to look at the charts all weekend, right? Do yourself a favor and go outside and touch grass. You can set an alert, but if you need to know how to do that, you can just right click on anywhere on the chart, add alert, right? You can customize your price, 62K, right? We can do that. So that would, set you up so you don't have to stare at the charts all day, right? So that is Bitcoin. For the short-term daily, that's what I'd be looking for the 4-hour, right? If we zoom in here, right, we're holding relatively conservatively on that 200 EMA, right? This pink line, that's a big moving average. And we bounced to the dollar within the last hour. So we'll see if that holds, right? We have 27 minutes till this candle holds. Maybe we can put in a higher low. That's all we're looking for today, tomorrow, going into the weekend. We're trying to get a higher close. Closing prices, remember, on a line chart. There you go. And then if we do that, that's step one to reverse this downtrend. You have to work your way back up, and then we have to take out this high. Then if we do that, new uptrend is started. By definition, this downtrend would be over, whether or not this is a long-lasting one or not. The odds would really improve of going back to new all-time highs if we get above and close above like the 69K level. You want to take out all these highs, really. So we're looking to get back above 69K, and I think all-time highs potentially next week. Otherwise, we're looking for lower lows, right? If we take out this low 61.7 with a close, we're just going to continue this downtrend down, all right? So that's kind of a Cliff's Notes version on Bitcoin for today. Another important side note, I have a Tether dominance video coming out shortly. It's loading now on YouTube. It's one of the biggest warnings I've seen in crypto since 2021. So go watch that video when you get a chance, right? Maybe you've seen this, right? Ben Cowan's been talking about Tether dominance, how it's at this trend line since 2017. It's held, and when it bounces, historically, that's not so great for crypto. And you can see where we are now. So check that video out. I won't spoil the surprises on here. Thanks for joining us. If you are, you're not late. You're first one here. Well, thanks for everyone for joining. Yeah, there's been some confusion on Matic. What's up, all? So I also just put out a chain link video on, buy levels to the downside and, where I think we're going to break. So check the chain link video out when you get a chance this weekend as well. We can go look at Matic. That's really all I wanted to really say, but this is definitely worth paying attention to. Watch that video when you get a chance. I go in depth, kind of some big warnings and some differences. All right, so let's get to first request. Matic. Yeah, of course, everyone's screaming fire, but usually in a bull run, you'll get rescued, right? Even if you buy the worst times in a bull run, you'll be all right. Okay, so Matic, let's see. I got it right here. So let's look at Matic. This is our first request. So weekly chart still struggling a little bit. It's trying to get it going here. You can see our ladder from the bear market, right? We just climbed up each step, and now we're at the top step. So we want to hold that top step. 95 cents, we're kind of right there now, right? The 21-week EMA, right? If we zoom in here. 21-week EMA is really where you should hold the line in a bull run. If you don't, that's bigger issues. You might want to switch to a faster pony, at least for the short term, or maybe the longer term. So 21-week for Matic is around 90 cents. That really should hold the level. If we break below that, right, maybe de-risking a little bit, taking some profits or non-profits back to Tether or Bitcoin. Most altcoins are still struggling against Bitcoin, right? You can make your own watch list. We talk about this in our Telegram group. Alts to BCT, right? If your altcoin's not outperforming Bitcoin, just hold Bitcoin, right? There's a few that have done very well against Bitcoin over the past several months, even a year. There's some that are not doing well, right? So make sure you're in that boat, right? Altcoins versus BTC. You can make a whole watch list here, right? All right, so let's go back. So that's the weekly outlook, right? It's struggling more than some, but it's still off these lows. 150%. There's some coins that are doing more than that, some coins less, right? If you're a long-term believer in Matic, right? We have we're out of the bear market. There's your low, there's your higher low, but the concerning signs is we're still haven't taken out this high, right? We're still putting in lower highs. So you could argue that we're coming to a point here, and maybe eventually we break out of this, but Matic being one of the slower ponies on the track so far, right? Do you want to continue to ride that horse, or do you want to, take 20% out and put it into something faster moving, right? So that's the risk you take for riding some of these older coins. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're catch up, and sometimes they are mustard, right? I don't know where I'm going with that. Maybe someone got it. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, any more requests? You bought it at 117. Okay, well, it depends on your outlook, right? I mean, you can go a little monthly, right? We can kind of let's take off the ladder. We've had it on there for a year now. All right, so the monthly outlook, right here we go. Here's your monthly chart. So if you bought in at 117, is Matic likely to be higher in the future, right? We're looking at current prices. We have to get to 100. We're looking at 2 or 3x just to really get back to all-time highs. That's not too bad. Do I think Matic will do that? Yes. But is it going to outperform some of the newer alts between now and the next top? And that is the risk where we don't know. 21 month. That would be the worst case scenario. I would say if we go under the 21 month, which is, let's get what the number is, 87 cents, 86 cents. If we go under that, I would say it's probably time to cut. If you bought now, right, really in a bull run, you don't want to be selling on red days, right? Not financial advice, but if it's red, you're usually going to get rescued in the not so distant future in a bull move. Now, this is good, right? We just closed, consecutive weekly local highs, and we're just kind of moving back down to retest. A lot of coins are in this boat where they made this initial high, consolidate, and then this new high, and doing like what's called a throwback, a bullish retest. So we're still okay here. We could certainly bounce in the weeks ahead. Certainly if Bitcoin plays nice here. So do you cut here? I would say probably not. But if you get under here, then your odds go way up of, testing these swing lows again. So the 200 week, you shouldn't be going back below in any coin. If you go back below the 200 week, that's like definitely exit signals there. Stuttering Stanley says. So let's get to some other requests. Thanks again for watching. Water. Mouth gets so dry when I talk. How much Matic would I recommend holding? Well, I mean, how many Ferraris do I recommend in the garage, right? I mean, that's a loaded question. That could mean anything. Right, if you bought Matic at 20 cents, I mean, what the hell? You're good. Hi, Virginia. Welcome. See some familiar faces in here. Familiar names. That's usually all we get in here. Get a couple new people. That's about it. Jasmy. Yep, I had a couple requests for that over the past couple of weeks. So I can do that. And if you send me like a request on Twitter or X or my videos and I don't make it, it's not that I don't want to, but I just feel like no one's going to watch it, right? So I have to get, enough number of requests. If I get 3 people watching and it takes, an hour and a half to make a video, that doesn't really add up, right? So no harm, no foul. That's why I make these live streams so I can do more coins. So I feel like these are more helpful for more people, even though, 12, 13 people usually watch these. So no big deal. Well, okay. So weekly, let's look at, I always like to start at the big picture, right? You should always start like the monthly chart and see where you're at. Okay, so it looks like Jasmy had a hell of a February, just 300%, no big deal. That's a hell of a rip out of the bear market, and I do like that we cleared these lows, right? This final dip into the bear abyss, and now we're back out of it. Indecision so far in March. That's not a big deal. A lot of coins are there. So now let's zoom in. Weekly EMA 8. As long as you're above the weekly EMA 8, you got to be leaning bullish on anything you're looking at. Certainly after a 300% move, you've got to feel like you're going to give something back a little bit. And, you could almost argue like a flag formation here, right? So as long as we're holding and not closing below the EMA 8, you could definitely bounce again. If we close back below the EMA 8, then your final kind of line, just like anything else, the EMA 21, you shouldn't be going back below that. If you go back below the EMA 21 after being this high, that would be a concern. Right, you'd be looking at a 50, 60% drawback down, right? Shouldn't be doing that. From the highs, you've already gone down like 40% on some of these wicks. That's plenty. So fear not. I think this is a good one, especially with these kind of moves. A lot of power behind it. Let's see what the volume was. You want to see volume behind these moves. So good volume. Yeah, look at that. So your average volume is in the blue there on the bottom. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? When you have a breakout, you want to confirm with volume. Volume is not necessary to continue a move, but it is necessary to confirm the breakout. And we got that. So good sign there. No big deal. Daily, still looking good, right? It's just kind of the victim of Bitcoin's volatility as of now. So I don't see anything concerning there. Everything looks normal. Arrow. All right, let's do Arrow. I think I have it on my list somewhere, but we'll add it just in case. There we go. And we'll get to Ocean next. I need to make another Ocean YouTube video, don't I? All right, so Arrow, looking at the weekly, right? We don't have, now keep in mind, the less history you have, the less meaningful TA is, okay? So you have to have a lot of history. So because we don't have that much, you can't really focus on the weekly. So let's go into the daily. We probably got a little bit more there. And again, still, it's early. Like, you can't, early coins, it's like you're gambling already, right? There's nothing to go off of. So we don't have anything. TA is not really going to help you here, right? It's in an uptrend. That's all you got, right? It's an explosive move. If you bought anywhere from 10 cents, 20 cents, right, you're golden, right? Not likely going to move back below that, right? Swing lows, the only things I would watch out for is just taking out these lows, right? That'd be warning step 1, right? Then you can kind of march down the stairs here. You want to watch that. I really wouldn't want to see it go back below this initial high, this explosive move up here. And you can see that was the swing low and the retest, the throwback, right? This is textbook. Move up, consolidate, breakout, throwback, retest of previous breakout level, and the rest is history. So if we move back down, 60 cents better hold. As long as you bought in below 60 cents, you should be golden. If you bought in above there, you probably better cut under 60 cents. I would say. Not financial advice. That's just me. Right? Based on that long time frame 4-hour chart. All right. What else? We're doing Ocean next. Ocean's in my top 5 for this run. Hopefully you have some of it. It's been doing well. We've been tracking Ocean since it was about 20 cents. Where the hell is it? Someone pointed out to me. I feel like my list got changed. There it is. I took all my tickers off. We're gonna have to fix that. I just now noticed that. If you haven't noticed, I had a bunch of highlights out here. I don't know what's going on. All right, so let's focus on the monthly first. We don't have much here, but we do have a fib extension potential. And Ocean is one of the anomaly I don't like the Fibonacci on, because it started like really low here. So you can't do like a swing high to swing low. It doesn't have much history. So I would really not pay as much attention to fib extension levels here. So I will even eliminate that. So similar to Jasmy, right? This explosive move, holding above the EMA 8, 90 cents. Really don't want to go back below that. If we do, worst case, 70 cents, but I don't see it. Like, Ocean's been one of the stronger performers over the past month or so. 30% drawdown so far. Seeing like one of the top AI coins go down 50% is relatively unlikely, maybe with a wick. But if you got in under 50 cents, like, you're good. Like, worst case scenario, you retest that briefly. I really don't see that happening with all this volume. Look at these weekly volumes, so much above almost every buy move on these upper moves. Look how high the volume is. Even this little move, well above average volume, well above average. These are people just taking profits, right? That's smart, right? Take profits. If you bought in at, 20, 30, 40 cents, taking 10, 20% off the table after you're up, 2 or 3, 4x, like, don't be crazy. Right? Some of you have been in fetch since 20 cents. You're up 10x, right? We're up 10x since we've been talking about fetch. Profits are okay, right? You're never going to die taking profits, right? So the weekly looks good. Let's move in a little bit. Let's see how it looks here. 21-day battling the 21. So this is where you start to become a little bit more flip-flop, bull and bear side of the fence, because you're flip-flopping on the bull side of the fence by textbook, the 21. If you're the yellow line, all of my charts, I have the 21 EMA in yellow, because I think it's the most important. It's the yellow's the easiest color to see, right? Makes sense. That's why I do everything in yellow. If you're battling the 21-day EMA, you're really a tug of war, a pretty much equal tug of war from bulls and bears, no matter what you're looking at, Ocean aside. So if you're going back and forth, it's really best to just do nothing. You're getting chopped, right? Look at the chop. If you're above it and you're holding above the EMA 8, that's a strong trend. That's why we look at it on the weekly. You can look at it on any chart. You go to look at the 4-hour chart, the 1-hour chart. As long as you're holding the EMA 8, you're absolutely bullish. And most bull trends do hold the EMA 8, no matter what time frame you're looking at. The trouble starts when you start to close below the EMA 8, right? On any time frame, as short as they may be, right? Look at that. EMA 8, daily, came to it, closed. Closing prices. You're holding the EMA 8, you're good. You close below the EMA 8, that's when the indecision starts. So we're still good. Ocean's still good. Look at the crazy amount of volume down here. Hopefully that was all you wanted. Let's look at the Gaussian channel on Ocean. Still well below us here. 80 cents. Really shouldn't be going a whole lot into the daily chart. Stuttering Stanley's back. The daily chart, the 5-day chart for the Gaussian channel, you're likely not going to hit it in a bull run, right? Unlikely. And here's more evidence of that. 48 cents is the top of the Gaussian channel in the 5-day. Unlikely, right? But this will rise. Make no mistake, right? So in a month or a couple months from now, the Gaussian channel on Ocean might be 75 cents or so, but still, you should really be hitting Gaussian channels on bull runs on the macro scale, 5-day, weekly, something like that. Hopefully that makes sense. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here. And you can watch these back if you didn't know that. Some people choose not to do that. I keep these public, so you can go watch all this back if you want to rewind or whatever. I gotta take another water. All right. What else? Naka? All right, let's go here. I'm going to guess this is a newer coin. Start on the monthly. Not that new. All right, so good signs. is that we're done with the bear. Let's get the volume out. I feel like that's a little distracting. All right, so Gaussian channel, let's remove that as well. We'll get to that if we need to. So monthly chart looks good, right? Not a whole lot to go off of there. Weekly, what do you know? So stronger coins will respect the 21 week. Look at that 21 week retest. So this build up, I don't know where you got in at, but this is a good looking chart. So this move up, consolidate, move up, consolidate, explosive move, retest. And if there's no level, right, you notice there's no levels back in here to like kind of retest. So you want to have your orders open in at the 21 week. Are you catching that drift there? The 21 week on any chart you look at is the spot to load off. It's certainly if you go on this parabolic move, you have nothing over here to look at. So what level are you going to get? Wherever the 21 week is. You need to track the 21 week. Certainly if it starts moving off and prices start coming down, the 21 week is where it's likely to hold. And you got several weeks to do that. $1.30, $1.20, and now you're in the stratosphere, right? Looking good. So that is excellent chart right there to see, right? You disregard all that because it came in at, it's some of these coins are, victim of bad timing. And I think this one kind of came in at the Pico top, right? So no worries on that. I would just ignore all that and look at, your new cycle. And the new cycle looks super strong from a TA standpoint, textbook great. Okay. Where would we not want to see price go back below and would start to get concerning is right here. $2, really, $1.95, worst case. And you give it a couple weeks, the 21 week will likely be over that. So you should be good, right? So this top, right, you can see the hesitation there right before the next move out. So throwback, we might get another throwback. Worst case scenario, we're around the $2 level. And then you're good to go again. Good looking coin, good looking chart. Wish I would have got in earlier on that one, huh? What's the market cap of Naka? If you get this, I'm all into market caps. You should be into market caps as well. If someone throws out a stupid high price on something, go check the market cap. If it's over 20 billion, you can start to doubt that. Certainly, if it's over 100 billion, you can start to, think that they're just a, the bit boy, right? All right, DOT. We can go to DOT. Let's go look at it. Do about another 10-15 minutes or so. All right, Polkadot. Let's start on the monthly, right? You always want to get the big macro scale. What you're looking at. You want to zoom out. Right here we are. We've looked at DOT for years now, right? I once held a shit ton of DOT. Underside retest of the monthly EMA 34. We're looking for a breakout of that, right? You can see. Let's zoom in here. Right, let's remove these. These are probably from last cycle. Haven't looked at DOT in a while. So this is the lid line. Once we start to break this is when the good things start to happen. Right, so we're there. We are likely to break on DOT. DOT would likely have a huge move here. Whenever this breaks, I would like to probably see it above $10. This low wick right here, or that low $10.30. Yes, $10. Right, we break that again with a close. We got to close. Might take April or May, right? Patience. But why do I think it was explosive move, and how explosive do I think this is coming? I would go almost a 2x relatively quickly because there's no space here, right? There's nothing in here. There's no level. DOT will likely kaboom. I would say somewhere around the $15 level is where you'd want to look for your next move up. And especially with this kind of formation, this round, right? This is looking great. So if you got in DOT at any of this moment or back here, you're going to be looking good when it moves. I don't know how long that's going to be, right? No one can tell you. But the macro scale and the monthly DOT looking pretty good. Okay. 100. Now we're on the weekly. We zoomed in a little bit. Ideally, we'd want to hold the 100 week. It's a big moving average. Resistance, breakthrough. We'd like to flip that to support. Currently, 878. We're right there. Right? Worst case, just like everything else, the 21 week. That's where you'd want to load up more if you want some more DOT. it's not only the 21 week, but we also have this level over here, right? Look at this. Look at these high resistance, breakthrough, come back, didn't hold it, lost our footing a little bit, even wick down, right? Way lower, right? That's why you lost your 8-week EMA. You slipped down. You got back up off the ice and proved yourself. You can do a triple Lutz. Now we're back down to the 100-week. We should hold this level. Hopefully, right? If you want DOT to gain some traction and do that catapult to 15, this has got to hold. Otherwise, you're going to slip on your quadruple Lutz and fall back on your ass on the ice again. And likely 750 area is where I'd look. Okay, so we break this high again. 15 might come quick. Looking good. All right. Bro, I ain't covering meme coins. What are we looking at? All right, ADA. Let's do ADA. Sorry if I ever pause and like I look retarded. Well, that's me, but I'm also looking at the chat. So let's go do that. ADA's here somewhere. We just got to scroll and find it. We need an Alt F. There it is. All right, ADA and DOT, pretty similar, right? Pretty similar charts. If you wondered, did I click over to ADA or is this still DOT? Yes. Same chart, almost the same chart. So similar rhymes and reasons. ADA again, a little bit older coin, right? Slower to move, but it's starting. Nothing much is going to change here from what I said on DOT. So hopefully you paid attention to DOT. However, right, we're back under the 100 week. We got to pay attention to that. A little bit less structure on this versus DOT. DOT had some pretty clearly defined levels. This one, I would like to really don't want to see it go much below here. 60 cents. A wick to 55. If it goes back under that, if we close a weekly candle back under 55 for ADA, I would, me personally, right? Can't give financial advice, but me personally, I would probably flip to a faster pony until ADA gets its act together, right? ADA's back on the wagon. If it goes back under 50 cents or it's off the wagon, one of the two. And you'd want to wait until he cleans his act up and gets back above 75 cents. Then you can get back in. Really, ADA is going to probably still struggle, right? Non-biasedly until we get back above $1, $1.20, right? I mean, these, here's our swing lows, swing highs, just to get to the 5.0 extension. We're at $1.60. I mean, we're looking at, look at those moves, 160% move to get back to the 5. Historically, right? If you're looking at Fibonacci extensions, to really get things moving, you got to get above the 0.5. Once you do that, then you can really pick up steam. And you got 618, 786. You're really likely to just continue. But until then, you got a lot of work to do. There's a lot more coins that are likely going to do better, at least in the short term, until we get up here, right? ADA might, catapult again, which it does historically, right? Those kind of moves, not likely to come until we're back above this level. Just throwing it out there, right? I try to give you as unbiased opinions as possible on all these coins, right? All right. What else we got? All right. I think is that all the requests? I think I got everything. No meme coins. What else we got? All right. I guess that's kind of it. If I don't have any more requests, thanks all for watching. Let me see if there's anything else I can do. I put out a chain link video. I got a tether video coming out, which you need to be watching if you like money or hate money. If you don't like money, then you can just not watch it. It's pretty important. It's probably one of my most important videos I've put out in maybe recent memory. The tether video is coming out shortly on YouTube. You need to be watching that. There's potential seismic activity going on in the crypto ground below us. Okay. What else do we see? I don't know what else I got. Let's take one final look at Bitcoin. I know a lot of people are panicking right now, but there's no need to panic. Like, we're still in a bull run. People are crazy. Like, look at that parabolic move. Like, we're still here. We're still above all-time highs. Like, if you zoom out enough, the world is peaceful, right? Bitcoin's all right. Who cares if we have a month or two of chill zone, right? We need it. Right? Don't panic. Hopefully you're not using leverage and gonna mess this run up. The fastest way to mess up your future is to use leverage. I promise. So be careful, certainly in these times, right? Just buy spot on red days. Just buy the red days. If you're down 5%, you're buying that, right? Whatever coins you're looking at. I don't care if it's Trump meme coin or Chainlink or Bitcoin, right? Red days, you dollar cost average. Green days, you sit on your hands and do nothing. Go touch grass. Go ride to your grandma's. Whatever you need to do. Red days, you buy. Green days, you do nothing or take profits, right? Certainly if you're like 2xing, right? Bitcoin went up just a subtle 44% in 1 month, right? There's some profit taking after that. That's all we're doing, right? People that bought Bitcoin at 15 to 20K are happy with a 3 or 4x in a couple of months, right? This is not abnormal. This is healthy, right? We don't want to go to 100K before taking a break. It'd be over with before you knew it. All right, so we're doing good. All right, just take a break for a little bit and come back. Weekly, EMA 8 is currently at 59K, 58-ish or so. We should hold that, right? That zone that we just looked at on the monthly is right here. No big deal. We held it last time. Likely hold it again. If we don't, then the trouble starts to get a little bit bigger. But until we're under the EMA 8 with a close, this is normal, right? Ebbs and flows, ups and downs. That's what we're gonna do. All right. I'm gonna wrap it up there. It's noon Eastern time. It's time to go do something else. All right. Thanks for joining. We'll do more requests next time. You can join our Telegram. Try to request something there. Always happy to do it. Send me a request on X. I can chart something there. I'll always call it Twitter because X is just a letter. Thanks so much.